The film begins with a girl named Ashley emerging from a container filled with a thick, black, sticky substance. She is then warmed up, cleaned, and dressed. Shortly afterward, Ashley wakes up in a bedroom and finds Spencer watching her. She realizes she has no memories at all and doesn't know who she is or where she is. Instead of answering her questions, Spencer starts drinking with her, assuming that she knows him the same way he knows her. He has the house's artificial intelligence play a song, hoping it will help her remember something about their shared memories. However, Ashley keeps repeating that she doesn't know anything and doesn't know who he is. Spencer becomes frustrated because no progress is being made, and suddenly he attacks her, throws her to the ground, and starts choking her and smashing her head until she dies. After that, he takes the body to a tank outside the house. When his mother, Victoria, arrives, she doesn't seem surprised by Ashley's death. She gives Spencer a notebook and tells him to write down his thoughts about what he's doing. Spencer promises he'll write in it later and tells her that the girl who died didn't feel like the real Ashley, and that he didn't feel she was truly Ashley either. Victoria then goes to her lab inside the house and tries to figure out what went wrong with the experiment she conducted. While she's working, Spencer slips the notebook under the door. At the same time, Victoria receives a call from Spencer's father, Parker, who contacts her through virtual reality so they can talk. Parker asks about Spencer, and Victoria explains that she's doing everything she can, but Spencer refuses to cooperate. When Parker tells her that Spencer needs psychological treatment, Victoria rejects the idea again, because she doesn't want anyone to take her son away from her. She believes she's the only person in the world who truly loves him, and that she has to protect him. Parker tells her that the notebook doesn't contain enough information, so she needs to watch Spencer while he kills. Because Victoria doesn't want to influence the results, she decides to install a surveillance camera in Spencer's room. After that, she starts working on a new model. This is when we learn that she's a genetic scientist who creates multiple copies of Ashley over and over so Spencer can kill them. In reality, she believes she's treating her son through these clones, thinking that one day he'll stop killing. The new version is being prepared now. After she's cleaned, dressed, and even given makeup, Victoria brings her to Spencer's room. Spencer waits for Ashley to wake up and notices the camera, which makes him angry. Finally, Ashley wakes up, and Spencer yells at her, asking if she knows who she is. She tells him she doesn't know anything, which only angers him more. He asks her if she remembers him, and she says no again. This causes Spencer to start screaming at her, demanding that she remember him, while playing the same song. The terrified Ashley tries to escape, but Spencer grabs her again, chokes her, and smashes her head until she dies. Victoria watches with tears in her eyes. When Spencer is done, he angrily smashes the camera, then takes the body to the tank. After that, a flashback takes us 1 month earlier. We see Spencer driving his car when he suddenly notices a girl being pushed out of another car and left behind. Instead of driving away, his curiosity pushes him to approach the strange girl. This girl is the real Ashley. As Spencer gets closer to her, he reads a message from his mother telling him she'll be late at work. Later, Spencer meets Ashley and offers to take her to his house, since the nearest town is a 6-hour walk away. Ashley agrees and borrows Spencer's jacket because it's cold. Back in the present, Spencer tells Victoria that her project isn't working, because identical copies aren't real and don't feel the way the real Ashley did. Victoria asks him for more time, explaining that this was only her 4th experiment. That night, Victoria talks to Parker and blames him for making her watch Spencer kill, but Parker explains that it was necessary so she could understand Spencer's needs and prevent him from killing someone else in the future. While they're talking, Victoria receives a call from an employee at the company she owns, but she ignores it. After that, Victoria decides to spend more time with Ashley's latest copy, trying to make her more real and human, teaching her how to interact with Spencer and how to deal with him. Parker is surprised by Victoria's obsession with making the experiment succeed, especially since she hasn't gone to work since all of this started and the employees have begun to notice her absence. Still, Victoria ignores it once again. The next day, Victoria prepares a new version of Ashley, but she doesn't take her to Spencer yet. She talks to him and asks him to stay away from Ashley for a while, so she can give her some time to adjust to life and become more real. Spencer agrees and continues working on his drawings, which sometimes seem to move in his eyes. After a while, Spencer leaves his room and finds Ashley talking with Victoria in the guest room. When they notice him, Victoria quickly gets up and closes the door. Spencer goes outside to watch the ants, then draws a portrait of Ashley's face, believing that the drawing is moving as well. Later, he walks around and notices a woman he hasn't seen before at the neighbor's house. Her name is Marissa. She explains that her parents are in Europe, so she's temporarily responsible for the house. Spencer helps her bring her things inside, and they quickly become friends. When Spencer returns home, he draws a portrait of Marissa, making it look like she's winking. That night, Victoria is shocked when she hears a knock at the door. It's Marissa, who brought cookies as a thank you gift for Spencer's help. Victoria pretends to be polite and thanks her, but as soon as Marissa leaves, she yells at Spencer for dealing with a stranger when he knows how dangerous that is. A short time later, Victoria talks to Parker and tells him about Marissa, and the fact that Spencer has started drawing her. She also tells him about the latest version she created, which has become much closer to the real Ashley, thanks to the information Victoria gave her from social media. The next day, Spencer returns the plate to Marissa and gives her the portrait he made for her, which she finds absolutely amazing. She asks him to design a tattoo for her, and shows him her neck so he can choose the spot, which completely flusters Spencer, until Marissa tells him that she likes him. When Spencer gets home, Victoria asks where he's been and gets upset again when she hears he went to Marissa's place. She tells him not to see her again, but Spencer immediately objects. Victoria then changes the subject and tells him that he'll meet the latest Ashley the next day. We cut to a flashback showing how Spencer brought the real Ashley home. Ashley goes to the bathroom, where she secretly snorts some powder. After that, Spencer drinks with her, and she asks the house's artificial intelligence to play her favorite song. When she hears that Victoria will be late coming home, Ashley asks Spencer to go into his room with her. Back in the present, Victoria explains to Ashley that Spencer is shy, so she needs to help him open up and talk to him about his interests in nature and art. She then takes Ashley to Spencer's room and pretends she's going to leave them alone for a while, but she actually waits outside the door to see what will happen. Spencer plays Ashley's favorite song and drinks with her. Ashley looks through Spencer's drawings and is impressed by his talent, but she starts to feel uneasy when she sees portraits of herself. With every page she turns, she becomes more terrified. When Spencer notices her reaction, he closes the sketchbook and asks Ashley to dance with him for a bit. As they move together, Ashley starts asking questions, and Spencer realizes that she still doesn't remember him at all. He gets angry and starts choking her, while Victoria hears her son killing another version. After putting the body in the tank, Spencer explains to Victoria that everything feels fake to him, that there's an invisible barrier between him and the real world, and that this barrier is suffocating him. Still, the short time he spent with the latest version made him feel like he could breathe again, just like he did with the real Ashley. He thanks his mother, and Victoria shares these results with Parker and decides to continue the experiment, believing that something positive has happened that could help Spencer return to the real world and live a normal life. The next day, Spencer stands in front of the tank, thinking about the latest version. Marissa comes to visit him so they can talk for a while. She tells him that she used to go to therapy because she had eating disorders, but she stopped when she got better. Spencer tells her that he also used to go to therapy, but he doesn't say why he stopped or what he was being treated for. At that moment, he notices a strand of Ashley's hair on the floor from when he was dragging the body, and he quickly hides it under his shoe. After that, Marissa invites him to go to an art exhibition together. We cut to a flashback of the night of the incident, when the real Ashley discovered Spencer's art and praised his talent before showing him the tattoo on her arm. Then she asked him to dance with her, teasing him in a playful, flirtatious way. Spencer, who was very closed off, didn't know how to handle that. When he tried to touch her, Ashley pulled away coyly and told him to be careful, which deeply embarrassed him. Spencer then exploded in anger and attacked her immediately. Ashley stomped on his foot and tried to escape, but he managed to grab her and throw her to the ground. Ashley tried to defend herself, scratching the floor with her fingernails, but Spencer choked her and smashed her head until she died. From that moment on, this became his only method of killing. Back in the present, Victoria finishes preparing a new version of Ashley and asks Spencer to be patient so she can make more progress with this version and make her far more human. Ashley is taken to the guest room, and when she wakes up, Victoria tells her that she was in an accident and needs to stay with them until she remembers everything and they can find her home. Later, they go outside, and Victoria shows Ashley a video of Spencer as a child playing with a dog. She tells her that Spencer had 2 dogs, and unfortunately both of them died. She even shows Ashley their graves, saying that death comes for all of us in the end. Ashley hugs Victoria to comfort her, while Spencer watches them from the window. We return in a flashback to that terrifying night when Victoria came home and found the real Ashley's body. She slapped Spencer and admitted that she had thought he was getting better. We also learn that Spencer was the one who killed the dogs. Spencer promised her that no one would ever know Ashley had been with them, and Victoria agreed to dispose of the body in the lab after taking her DNA. In the present day, on the day of the art exhibition, Spencer admits to Marissa that this is the first time in his life he has ever seen real art. He explains that he only went to school until the 6th grade, then was homeschooled after a specific incident that happened when he was a child. Spencer was playing a game called King of the Hill with other kids and wanted to be the strongest king. He pushed a girl who was climbing up behind him, causing her to fall and die. Since then, Victoria kept him away from people, believing that everything that happened to him was unfair, because he was just a child, not a real killer. Marissa then surprises him by displaying the portrait he gave her at the exhibition. When Spencer sees it, he gets upset because she showed it without his permission, and he feels exposed. However, he calms down when Marissa explains that she did it because she's proud of him. At the same time, Victoria notices that Spencer isn't home and that he left his phone behind. That evening, Marissa drives Spencer back home and notices scratches on one of the windows before leaving. As soon as Spencer walks in, an angry Victoria yells at him again and tells him that she's the only one who can take care of him and that he shouldn't look for anyone else. Spencer explains that Marissa makes him feel something different. Ashley overhears the conversation, becomes confused, and immediately returns to the guest room, where she starts having nightmares of being dragged across the floor and strangled. In the morning, Ashley wakes up from the nightmare and goes outside to calm herself. When Victoria approaches her, Ashley tells her about the dreams and asks why Spencer keeps his distance from her. Victoria insists that he's just shy and swears that Spencer was the one who found her. Later, Victoria tells Parker what happened. She's worried about what Ashley might discover, but at the same time she's excited by the possibility that the copies she creates may have real memories. After a while, Ashley sneaks into Spencer's room and moves the rug, finding scratches on the floor just like the ones in her dream. She then looks through Spencer's drawings and becomes distressed when she sees her own face in the terrifying sketches. Ashley takes the sketchbook to her room, but before she can keep looking, Victoria knocks on the door, forcing her to hide it under the pillow. A few hours later, Spencer tells Victoria that he doesn't want to do this anymore. Instead, he wants to live a normal life and have friends. Victoria rejects the idea and tells him that he's been violent since he was a child and that nothing about him will ever change. The next day, Marissa sneaks around the house and spots Victoria and Ashley in the garden. She quickly takes a photo, but her phone makes a sound that Victoria hears. When Victoria comes to check, Marissa has already disappeared. Later, Victoria receives another call from an employee who scolds her for not showing up to work for a long time and tells her that the board members are angry. With no other choice, Victoria decides to attend the meeting to calm things down. Spencer notices that his sketchbook is missing. Victoria tells him that she's traveling and that she'll lock Ashley in her room for her own safety. Meanwhile, Marissa searches for Ashley online and is shocked to discover that she's wanted in several criminal cases. She sends this information to Spencer's phone, but the problem is that his phone is synced with his mother's phone. As a result, Victoria also receives a copy of Marissa's message, becomes extremely worried, ignores the important meeting, and decides to return home immediately. Shortly after, Ashley manages to look through the sketchbook and sees that the portraits become more horrifying with every page she turns, so she destroys it right away. At the same time, Marissa sneaks into the house because Spencer hasn't replied to her messages. She's worried about him and afraid of what Ashley might do to him. Spencer corners Marissa and tells her that he was planning to change for her, just before he starts choking her. Marissa grabs a bottle of ink and smashes it over his head, then tries to escape and orders the house's artificial intelligence to call the police immediately. Her screams and struggle are transmitted through the phone. At the same time, Ashley finds a hammer in her closet and uses it to break the lock and escape. In the kitchen, Spencer chases Marissa and grabs a shard of glass to stab her. Ashley sees them as she enters the living room, but at that moment, a car pulls up outside the house. Ashley quickly hides in the lab, where she discovers all the equipment Victoria used for her experiments. She breaks down when she sees videos of the clones emerging from the tank and also discovers that she herself is wanted by the police. She realizes then that the real Ashley was a criminal. Meanwhile, Victoria enters the house and finds Marissa's body. She hits Spencer and screams at him, then realizes that Marissa called the police. Victoria orders Spencer to bring Ashley and get rid of both bodies. Shortly after, Spencer notices that Ashley has disappeared. Victoria collapses, but she doesn't want him to carry all the responsibility alone. Spencer takes Marissa's body to the tank, while Victoria enters the lab, where Ashley confronts her, threatening her with a hammer and demanding an explanation. Victoria tells Ashley that Spencer only saved her from a life of crime, but Ashley doesn't believe her because she remembers that he killed her. Ashley tries to attack Victoria but instead smashes the computer. When Spencer hears the noise, he rushes in to help his mother. Ashley manages to hit Victoria with the hammer before Spencer attacks her, then strikes Spencer in a sensitive spot and runs outside. Ashley hides behind a car and waits for Spencer to come out. She suddenly ambushes him with a powerful punch, completely overwhelmed by rage. She keeps hitting him until he falls, then smashes his head against the ground until he dies, just like he did to all of his previous victims. At that moment, the police arrive, witness the scene, and immediately arrest Ashley. Afterward, Victoria sees Spencer dead and breaks down, crying from the bottom of her heart. But instead of surrendering, she says goodbye to Parker, destroys the virtual reality device, and begins creating a new version of her son. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.